I know nothing, which is a lot of my videos, to be fair. Like for the Deep Blue video, I spent a month practicing and learning chess.
Oh, that's pretty fucking intense. I really committed to it.
I wanted to make sure that I could summarize the games in a way that at the very like I wanted to know enough that I could take these incredibly complicated games and help people who don't know chess understand them at the very least on an emotional and fundamental level.
But is there an emotional level to chess that I don't know about?
Yes.
Yeah,
chess is
yes. Please tell me about it.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure Charlie could tell you all about it. But chess games are extremely dramatic because the emotion of the game changes moment to moment, because while you can tell a story with the game, it really is like every move is a new position. And so at the drop of a hat, a game can completely shift from one person to the other. So it's extremely dramatic.
It's also extremely nerve-wracking. Like the adrenaline is pumping.
Listen, I have played way back in the day. I played so much League of Legends. I played games competitively. I have never had my heart pounding as hard as when I'm playing a game of chess.
Yep.
Is that like just a normal game of chess against like a just a random person online, or are you talking about like tournament level chess?
No, I'm
matches?
talking about just matchmaking, like basic bitch matchmaking. It is nerve-wracking because like all it takes is one little misstep and it's like, oh, well, there goes my rook. I guess I lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people carry way too much, though. Like, it also doesn't help the image of the game that like the higher profile chess players are all petulant children who live off of their own farts. Like, Gary Kasparov, I still remember the hissy fit he threw when he lost against that machine, Deep Blue. He was like, this is not fair. You guys are rigging the game. It's impossible that I could have lost. This is not real. You guys hacked me and you studied my past games and shit. He just couldn't accept that he lost against a fucking machine.
I actually will defend Kasparov here because
oh boy,
yes, yes.
Did you really think this wouldn't happen when the man made an over 2-hour documentary on this exact thing?
And you took out of your ass about it immediately. I love it.
So I'm sorry, but I have to defend him a little bit because he was treated terribly by IBM. They were doing everything that they could in order to like screw him over. But beyond that, the man admitted
in his tea.
What?
Did they like fuck with him in the green room?
Oh no, they moved his retreat area. They moved his green room to like at first it was like a 5-minute walk across the building or something ridiculous. Then they moved it to right next to him, but it wasn't even private. Like there were
what
people.
Do you mean by
like,
it's not even private?
So
they just put a whole bunch of people in there randomly.
No, people. It was people were walking through it constantly. It wasn't quiet and it wasn't secluded.
Oh, okay.
Like he didn't have it is very normal in really high level games like this for the players to have a smoking room to retreat to think about the game, and they put his like 5 minutes down like across the building, and then he was like, this is ridiculous, this isn't normal. And then they're like, okay, so they basically just put up some screens and we're like, all right, there you go.
Did they give the computer a private room? Because that's
they did. No, that's the maddening thing. Like Deep Blue, like the server racks were moved to the building, and there was air conditioning blowing all over it to keep it cool, just so it wouldn't like burn out. And Kasparov had to fight to get AC.
Damn,
which is actually a big deal because like there were stage lights on him, like all huge stage lights on him, and he was there in a suit.
I implore the two of you to watch his video on it.
I fucking love that actually.
Frederick's newest video is over 2 hours on this whole thing. I watched the entire thing, and it gets crazier than what he's letting on. It's a very good video, Frederick.
Thank you. It was a lot of work. The new video that is just about finished is wackier. Wackier is not the right term. There's a lot of death.
Yeah, wacky
yeah,
probably would be
that
the
is pretty
term for
wacky.
that.
It's so goddamn kooky.
It's always
No,
a good sign.
No, it is way more complicated and absurd, I'd say, even than Deep Blue. But Deep Blue was absolutely like some of the things that happened in it were ridiculous.
Is the new video connected to Deep Blue at all? Did Deep Blue kill someone?
No,
that would be awesome.
Fortunately, Deep Blue
That
Blue
would've been
remains
wacky.
unbesmirched.
Like the server rack just fell on someone.
A poor museum worker was just buffing.
Fucking
Way too much air
the
conditioning
ultimate
was
chess
pushing on it.
move. The ultimate chess move is just killing people and figure it out.
Yeah,
That
it
would be
calculates
so
if your
cool.
opponent's dead, they can't fight back.
What I really want to see, I genuinely, I wish we could revive Terry Davis and let him go on, like, program Deep Blue. Like, see what that man could accomplish with all that processing power.
Did Terry Davis accomplish anything with his operating system?
The operating system
died.
itself was kind of the goal. He most of the coding, I think that there's a misconception that he made it because God told him to. I suspect personally that he started, and there is evidence to suggest this, that he started work on it before his schizophrenia started getting worse. Like he had episodes, but I don't think that it was so all-consuming when he started work on it. And then after his schizophrenia got worse, he started ascribing holy features to it. Because originally it was like it went through a number of names. Not, let's see, like before Temple OS, it was, what was it? There were like 3 or 4 different names that it went through. And when he was advertising them that early on, he was advertising it as just like a cool operating system. And then the godly part started melting into it more. Lose those,
Yeah,
thank
that guy
you.
had
Yeah.
issues. That guy had issues,
Yeah.
and you would almost feel bad for him, except he was also rabid racist. Very, very angry racist.
So again, like this is something that I didn't bring up in the video, but specifically doing things and saying things that are offensive is a trait of schizophrenia. And then as
who
some
knows?
things have become less acceptable to say, you will see that with patients with schizophrenia, there is a rise in discussion of that material. So for some reason, schizophrenia
they turn
makes
racist?
people, like it makes them say things that are inflammatory. And so
So
how
they're
much
not
of that-
actually
Oh, like
racist.
Tourette's.
They just enjoy. Yeah, well.
it's hard to say
yeah,
how
kind
much of
of.
it was just his conscious mind and how much of it was the sickness.
Yeah, it doesn't
think
necessarily mean that
schizophrenia.
he himself is racist just because he says racist things due to his illness.
It's I mean there are tons of arguments to be made and they're semantic arguments, but the simple truth is it's complicated, which is kind of the moral of a lot of my videos.